In the quiet forge of the mind, where thoughts clash like tempered steel, there lies a sacred truth whispered by the ancients. Mujo, the impermanence and flow of all things, teaches us that to be rigid is to break, but to flow is to endure. Like the blacksmith who bends steel with fire and unyielding discipline, so too must we temper our spirit, forging a will of steel from the chaos of overthinking. Each thought that traps you is a chain, each hesitation a shackle, yet within you burns a fire, an ancient flame of Hagain no Ishi, the iron will, that demands release, not restraint. It calls you to discipline your mind, not as a prison, but as a sword honed sharp for the battle ahead. Today I invite you, fellow warriors of the spirit, to step into this forge with me. Comment, flow, subscribe, and join our community of relentless samurai, crafting clarity from chaos and strength from stillness. Together we will cast away the weight of doubt and ignite the path forward. Embrace impermanence means to fully understand and accept the transient nature of all things around us and within us. In the vast flow of existence, nothing remains constant. Thoughts, emotions, circumstances, and even life itself are in a continuous state of change. This ancient truth, deeply rooted in Japanese philosophy as Mujo, teaches us that resisting this flux only leads to suffering and stagnation. When we cling tightly to our worries, fears, or expectations, we build mental walls that imprison us, trapping the mind in endless cycles of overthinking. Instead, by embracing impermanence, we allow ourselves to flow with life's current rather than fight against it. This acceptance opens the door to freedom and peace, revealing that the power to move forward lies not in controlling every outcome, but in surrendering to the natural rhythm of change. It's like water flowing over stones, unyielding yet gentle, adaptable yet persistent. When you let go of the illusion of permanence, you shed the burden of overanalysis and become open to new possibilities that arise from the moment's true nature. To embrace impermanence is to see each moment as a precious and unique fragment of life's unfolding story. Overthinking often stems from the desperate attempt to hold on to what has passed or to secure what may never come. We replay past mistakes, anxiously anticipate future problems, and become entangled in a web of what-ifs and should-haves. This clinging creates a paralysis of the spirit, leaving the mind exhausted and scattered. Recognizing impermanence liberates us from this cycle by shifting focus from the impossible desire to control time to the tangible experience of now. The samurai understood this deeply. Their lives, often balanced on the edge of uncertainty, demanded they move with awareness and decisiveness, knowing that clinging to fear or hesitation was a path to defeat. Likewise, embracing impermanence teaches us that every moment is fleeting, and that our energy is best spent in action rather than rumination. It calls us to honor the present, to breathe fully into each second, and to trust that life's flow will carry us where we need to be. This acceptance of impermanence also transforms how we relate to our thoughts and emotions. Instead of viewing them as fixed realities or threats to be controlled, we begin to see them as passing clouds, temporary, shifting, and ever-changing. When you stop identifying so tightly with your inner dialogue, the storm of overthinking calms. Like the disciplined smith who tempers steel through repeated cycles of heat and cooling, your mind learns resilience by observing the rise and fall of thoughts without becoming entangled in them. This distance allows clarity to emerge, a space where creativity and intuition can thrive, unblocked by the noise of doubt. Impermanence teaches that even the darkest moments will pass, and that nothing, no matter how heavy or overwhelming, lasts forever. By welcoming this truth, you cultivate a mind that flows, that adapts, and that ultimately frees itself from the chains of excessive rumination. In embracing impermanence, we also unlock the courage to take action despite uncertainty. Overthinking often stems from fear of failure or the unknown, a desire to predict and control the future to avoid pain or embarrassment. Yet the nature of life is unpredictable. Change is inevitable. When you accept this, you no longer wait for perfect conditions or complete certainty to move forward. Instead, you flow like a river cutting through rock. Persistent, determined, yet flexible. The samurai's way, guided by Bushido, was to act decisively, with honor and presence, aware that every moment could be their last. In modern life, this translates to embracing the flow of change and stepping boldly into action, even when the path is unclear. By doing so, you break free from the paralysis of overthinking, forging a spirit that is both strong and fluid, able to meet life's challenges with grace and resilience. This is the heart of embracing impermanence, a journey from resistance to harmony, from fear to freedom. Harnessing the power of presence means grounding yourself fully in the here and now, fully experiencing each moment without distraction or judgment. In a world filled with endless stimuli and constant mental chatter, the mind is often scattered, drifting between past regrets and future anxieties. Overthinking thrives in this restless space, where attention fractures and clarity fades. The ancient samurai knew that true strength came from unwavering focus, the ability to engage completely with whatever stands before them. This focus, rooted in presence, sharpens the spirit like the keen edge of a katana. Presence is not merely a passive state of awareness. It is an active discipline of returning your attention to the moment again and again, like a warrior honing their blade. When you harness presence, you cut through the noise of endless thoughts and ground yourself in reality, freeing your mind from the spirals of doubt and fear that feed overthinking. Presence demands that we meet life on its terms, without retreating into distraction or avoidance. To be present is to see clearly, not just with your eyes but with your entire being. It means feeling the weight of your body, the rhythm of your breath, the sounds and smells around you, and the subtle shifts of your inner world. This total engagement creates a bridge between body and mind, allowing you to move with intention rather than react out of habit or fear. The samurai's path was built on this embodied presence. In battle, in training, and in everyday life, they maintained a steady focus that connected them to the moment's demands. By cultivating this skill, you too can step out of the fog of overthinking and into a state of flow where action and awareness align. Presence transforms uncertainty into opportunity, allowing your spirit to move fluidly and with purpose. When you harness presence, you also learn to quiet the relentless mental noise that clouds judgment. Overthinking often involves a flood of what-ifs and endless internal dialogues that fragment your focus and drain your energy. Presence acts as an anchor, pulling you back from these swirling currents and into a calm center. Through mindful attention, whether in meditation, breathwork, or simply pausing to notice, your mind becomes less reactive and more grounded. This stillness is not emptiness, but a fertile ground from which clarity and insight grow. Like a samurai steadying their hand before the decisive strike, presence steadies your thoughts and aligns your actions with your deepest intentions. It cultivates a mental clarity that dissolves confusion and replaces hesitation with confidence, helping you move forward decisively rather than getting stuck in cycles of doubt. Finally, harnessing presence is a path to authentic connection, with yourself, with others, and with the world around you. When your attention is fully here, you engage with life more deeply and meaningfully. This deep engagement fosters resilience, because you respond to challenges as they arise, rather than being overwhelmed by projections of the future or regrets from the past. The samurai understood that every moment is an opportunity to practice mastery, to embody discipline and courage. By being present, you awaken the spirit of the warrior within, calm, alert, and ready. This presence is the foundation for breaking free from the chains of overthinking and stepping into a flow state where your mind and spirit move as one. It is the timeless power that transforms hesitation into action and fear into strength, guiding you steadily toward your true path. Disciplining the mind is the cornerstone of mastering oneself and forging a spirit that can overcome the chaos of overthinking. The mind, left unchecked, can become a wild tempest, constantly swirling with doubts, fears, and distractions that pull you away from clarity and purpose. In the samurai tradition, discipline was not merely about physical strength, but about mastering the mental realm, training the mind like a blade to be sharp, focused, and resilient. This discipline requires daily commitment and intentional practice, like the steady hammer strikes that shape raw metal into a sword. To discipline the mind is to cultivate control over your thoughts, emotions, and impulses, so they serve your goals rather than hinder them. It is an act of willpower and patience, a quiet battle fought in the depths of your consciousness. By embracing this practice, you gain the ability to silence the noise of overthinking and channel your mental energy toward purposeful action. The process of disciplining the mind demands consistency and rigor. Just as a samurai trains tirelessly with their sword, sharpening technique through repetition, so must you engage in mental training that strengthens focus and resilience. This can take many forms: mindfulness meditation, journaling, deliberate breathing exercises, or structured routines that anchor your attention and keep you grounded. The goal is to build habits that support mental clarity and emotional balance. Without discipline, the mind drifts into endless loops of what-if scenarios and second-guessing, wasting precious energy on unproductive thoughts. But through persistent effort, you transform these habits into a fortress of calm and control. The samurai's Bushido code emphasized self-mastery as a path to honor and strength. Similarly, disciplining the mind is a modern warrior's way to reclaim power over the restless inner world. Discipline also means learning to recognize and interrupt destructive patterns of thinking before they spiral out of control. Overthinking often arises from automatic responses to stress or uncertainty, where the mind clings to worry as a false shield against vulnerability. By training the mind to notice these patterns, you create a space to choose a different response, one rooted in reason, presence, and intention. This awareness is a powerful form of mental discipline, allowing you to break free from the cycles of doubt and hesitation. Like a skilled swordsman who anticipates the opponent's move, you learn to anticipate and redirect your thoughts before they consume you. This practice sharpens mental agility and cultivates resilience, empowering you to face challenges with a calm, steady mind. Discipline is not about suppressing thoughts, but about mastering the ability to guide them with purpose and clarity. Ultimately, disciplining the mind strengthens the foundation upon which all other aspects of growth rest. It is the forge in which your mental strength is created, the steady hand that wields your inner sword. When your mind is disciplined, you navigate life's uncertainties with greater confidence and grace, no longer a slave to the endless chatter of doubt and fear. The samurai spirit was built on this unwavering mental fortitude, an inner strength that allowed them to act decisively, even in the face of chaos. By committing to the discipline of your own mind, you embark on the path of transformation, from being controlled by your thoughts to becoming their master. This journey, though demanding, is the key to unlocking flow, clarity, and the power to move forward with purpose. Releasing attachment to outcome is a profound act of surrender that frees the spirit from the chains of expectation and fear. In the relentless pursuit of perfection or success, the mind becomes entangled in visions of how things should unfold, creating a trap of anxiety and overthinking. The samurai, bound by the principles of Bushido, understood that clinging too tightly to results could cloud judgment and paralyze action. Instead, they embraced the discipline of detachment, not as apathy, but as a courageous acceptance that the future is uncertain and beyond full control. This release allows the warrior to act with pure intention and full presence, without being shackled by the fear of failure or the desire for specific rewards. It is the understanding that true power lies not in controlling the outcome, but in mastering your response and commitment to the process itself. When you release attachment to outcome, You shift your focus from the distant, often uncontrollable future to the present moment where your actions hold real power. Overthinking often arises from obsessing over what might happen, replaying scenarios, fearing mistakes, or fixating on approval and results. This mental fixation distracts you from what you can actually influence, your effort, attitude, and discipline in the here and now. The samurai's way was to fully dedicate themselves to each action, knowing that the outcome, whether victory or defeat, was part of the greater flow of life. By embodying this mindset, you free yourself from the burden of unrealistic expectations and open up space for creativity, spontaneity, and genuine engagement. Detachment from outcomes does not mean passivity. It means embracing uncertainty with courage and clarity. This release also fosters resilience in the face of setbacks and failure. When you are overly attached to a specific result, any deviation feels like catastrophe, triggering frustration, doubt, and spiraling thoughts. But by letting go of rigid expectations, you build the flexibility to adapt and learn from whatever unfolds. The samurai faced life and death moments with a calm heart because they accepted impermanence and embraced each moment's demands without clinging to fixed ends. Similarly, releasing attachment to outcome equips you with the mental freedom to persevere when circumstances change or challenges arise. It transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth rather than sources of despair. This freedom from outcome-based anxiety quiets the mind's endless chatter, allowing you to act with greater confidence and authenticity. Ultimately, releasing attachment to outcome is an act of trust. Trust in yourself, in the process, and in the flow of life. It calls you to commit fully to your path without being blinded by fear of what may come. The samurai's strength came not from controlling fate, but from embracing it with grace, knowing that true victory lies in the spirit's steadfastness rather than the external result. By releasing attachment to outcome, you break free from the paralysis of overthinking and step into a state of flow where your actions become an expression of your highest self. This is the essence of true freedom, a warrior's courage to move forward with clarity, purpose, and an open heart, no matter what the future holds. To cultivate flow through action is to step boldly into the rhythm of life, allowing movement and momentum to dissolve the paralysis of overthinking. Flow, often described as the state where time seems to fade and effort feels effortless, is not a passive occurrence, but a dynamic process sparked by deliberate engagement. The samurai embodied this principle in every strike, every step, immersed fully in their practice. They moved with a harmony between mind, body, and spirit. When you cultivate flow through action, you break free from the endless cycle of hesitation and doubt that traps the mind. Instead of waiting for perfect conditions or certainty, you commit to doing, to moving forward even when the path is unclear. This momentum generates clarity and confidence, creating a powerful feedback loop where each step fuels the next, transforming scattered thoughts into focused energy. Action is the bridge between intention and manifestation, and cultivating flow means honoring this connection by embracing discipline and persistence. Overthinking often paralyzes because it fixates on possible failures, risks, or outcomes that may never materialize. But the warrior's way teaches that mastery is born not from contemplation alone, but from the courage to act despite uncertainty. Like the relentless pounding of the hammer on hot steel, every action shapes your character and sharpens your spirit. Through consistent, purposeful effort, you build a momentum that silences doubt and cultivates trust in your own abilities. Flow emerges naturally when your focus aligns with your purpose and your actions follow swiftly, like a river cutting through stone with steady persistence. Cultivating flow through action also requires embracing imperfection and learning to adapt in the moment. The samurai did not wait for flawless conditions before engaging in battle. They moved with what was, responding fluidly to shifting circumstances. This adaptability is key to sustaining flow, because it frees you from the tyranny of needing everything to be perfect before you begin. When you release the need for perfection and instead commit to continuous movement, you open space for creativity, learning, and growth. Each action becomes a step on the path of mastery rather than a test of worthiness. Flow through action is not about reckless impulsiveness, but about disciplined engagement, moving steadily and purposefully while remaining open to change and evolution. Ultimately, cultivating flow through action transforms the mind from a battlefield of endless debates into a channel of focused energy and clarity. It grounds your spirit in the present, where real power resides. The samurai's strength was born from this union of intention and movement, a warrior fully present in each moment, responsive and unwavering. By committing to act and flow with life, rather than resist it, you release the grip of overthinking and step into a powerful state of being where progress and peace coexist. This is the heart of true mastery, a spirit forged not just in thought but in the fires of action, moving forward with purpose, grace, and unstoppable momentum. Strengthening the iron will is the ultimate act of forging an unbreakable spirit, one that can withstand the relentless storms of doubt and distraction. In the heart of every samurai burned Hagane no Ishi, the iron will, a steadfast resolve forged through discipline, hardship, and unwavering commitment. This will is not born from fleeting motivation or superficial desires, but from a deep-rooted determination to persevere, no matter the cost. Overthinking often weakens the mind by scattering focus and breeding indecision, but an iron will cuts through this fog like a sharpened blade, anchoring the spirit firmly to its purpose. To strengthen your iron will is to train your mind and spirit to endure discomfort, resist temptation, and maintain clarity even in the face of overwhelming uncertainty and challenge. The process of building an iron will demands relentless practice and self-mastery. Just as a sword gains its strength through repeated heating, hammering, and cooling, your will is tempered by facing difficulties head-on and refusing to yield. This is not an easy path. Temptations to give up, distractions, and fear are constant adversaries. But each moment you choose discipline over distraction, courage over complacency, your will grows stronger. The samurai embraced this path, knowing that true strength is not measured by victories alone, but by the resilience to rise again after every fall. Strengthening the iron will means cultivating patience and perseverance, training yourself to move steadily forward, even when the mind screams for rest or retreat. An iron will also requires a clear and unwavering vision, a purpose so compelling that it becomes the guiding light through the darkest trials. Without purpose, discipline can become hollow and motivation fades. The samurai's code was anchored in values like honor, loyalty, and courage, giving them a compass that directed every action and fortified their resolve. Similarly, when you connect deeply with your why, your will gains unshakable strength. This purpose fuels your ability to resist the paralysis of overthinking by reminding you of the greater mission beyond temporary discomfort or uncertainty. It empowers you to stand firm in your commitments, even when distractions or doubts arise, transforming your inner dialogue from hesitation to determination. Ultimately, strengthening the iron will is about becoming the master of your inner world. It is the process of shaping your spirit into a weapon of clarity, focus, and resilience that cuts through the noise of fear and doubt. The samurai's power was not just in their physical skill, but in the unyielding strength of their will, the quiet fire that burned within, guiding every step and strike. By committing to cultivate this iron will, you build a foundation for breaking free from the chains of overthinking and stepping into a life of decisive action and unwavering flow. This strength is your armor and your sword, your path and your victory, a spirit forged in fire, ready to meet whatever challenges lie ahead with unbreakable resolve. Now, as we stand together at the edge of this journey, remember that the path of stop overthinking, start flowing is not a destination, but a continual forging of the spirit, an unending dance between discipline and surrender, strength and flexibility. Like the samurai who honed their will through fire and trial, you too are called to embrace the flow of life with courage and clarity. The 6 pillars we've explored are not mere concepts, but living forces, each one shaping your mind and spirit into a weapon of focused action and calm resilience. This is your call to step out of the shadows of hesitation and into the light of purposeful movement. Commit to this path daily, with the heart of a warrior and the grace of flowing water. Thank you for being part of this brotherhood and sisterhood of relentless souls, warriors forging themselves anew with every breath and every step. Remember to comment, flow, subscribe, and share this message with those who seek strength beyond thought. Together, we rise, undaunted, unshaken, unstoppable. Now, go forth and embody these truths. Live the will of steel. Live the spirit of flow.